We first met Jesus. Do you remember when, sister?
Well, he was in the village teaching. I would sit and listen. My heart was so full.
Yes, his teaching. Not like an ordinary rabbi. And they'd all stay at our house. Sometimes I'd have to prepare for 10 or 12. Food and drink and beds. Plus you and me.
And don't forget Lazarus.
Our brother, yes. He loved all the company. Well, we all loved the company. And we all pitched in to help. In our own ways. Right, sister?
They came through Bethany often. Jesus was our dear friend.
I guess that's why the whole thing seems strange. You know, when our brother died,
It was hard.
he was so sick. I don't think we had ever seen him that bad off. Had we?
No.
We just knew he was going to die. You were sitting by Lazarus' bedside praying. I was bringing cold compresses and water. Once in a while, a sip or two of wine and some bread just to keep his strength up. Just until Jesus came. We knew he'd come.
Yes, we sent for him. Martha, you wrote the note.
It was a cry for help, really. We knew that if Jesus came in time, he could heal our brother, didn't we?
I guess a lot of people could write the same note, couldn't they? Jesus, your good friend is sick. Jesus, help me. Jesus, please save us.
Our deepest need is always healing, isn't it? Well, let me just say this. Jesus sure seemed to take his sweet time, right?
I was not happy about it.
And then Lazarus was dead. Our brother was gone. There was nothing left to do except arrange for the funeral, the burial. We have a family tomb, so that was handled. I had to organize the mourners, the food, the lament music. It just goes with the territory, I guess. All the work kept me distracted, kept me from thinking about it. What was next? How would our household work? Could we survive, just the two of us? I was not going there, so I just did what I do best. I kept my feet moving.
I was distraught, really. I could not stop weeping. Why didn't he come? Jesus was our friend. We'd asked for his help and he did nothing.
There must have been a reason for this, for the death, for the delay. We can't live forever. No one knows the time or the hour. Two things, as they say, are inevitable, death and taxes. When he got here, I was sure Jesus would explain. Until then, I was not going to think about it. I couldn't think about it.
As for me, that's all I could think about. I'd spent hours sitting at his feet, listening and learning. How could he abandon us this way?
We moved forward with all the arrangements, the spices, the linen, the grave clothes. We laid Lazarus in the tomb. 4 more days passed.
Then Jesus arrived.
I jumped up on my feet and ran to him just as soon as I heard he was near. People had been trying to comfort me, to suggest reasons for Lazarus' death. Words of comfort from Jesus are what I really needed. Lord, I said, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Sister, how many times had we said this to one another over those 4 or 5 days?
I think it came to my mind as soon as Lazarus took his turn for the worst. We immediately thought of Jesus.
I was certain if he asked his father, even now after 4 days, the request would be granted. Martha, he replied, your brother will rise again. I knew my scriptures. On the last day, all the righteous faithful would rise. I'm not certain that was a comfort I was looking for. I knew I would see Lazarus again. I just wished it could be now. I guess I was a little dense. Like a small child, he took my hand, helped me up, and gradually, one step at a time. I am the resurrection and the life. What did this mean? The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Lazarus believed in you, but he is dead. What do you mean, Jesus? What does this mean? I believe in you, but it hurts.
I was so emotional, so despairing, I just fell at his feet and wept. Why didn't you come, I asked. Why didn't you come when we called for you? I made him so sad. He feels it too. He wept, you know. Our sadness and pain, he feels it so completely. There I was at his feet, desperately crying. Lazarus was gone. He was never coming back. I could not be consoled.
We are not immortal. Sooner or later, we die. Death is a bitter enemy, a thief who steals away life and refuses to give it back. Death rips children from their parents. parts husbands and wives, and sisters and brothers. Death preys on the innocent in unfathomable ways. Death is an enemy.
We fight death, fear death. Why then are we so cavalier about life, about people, about God's sacred creation? It's not a game we're playing. There's no do-overs, no get-out-of-jail pass cards, no level 3 energy points to resurrect the fallen combatant.
When you are gone, no one will ask how hard you worked, if your home was spotless, if your corporation grew, or how much money you made, or power you wielded, or volunteer hours you even put in. Satan loves to see us work ourselves to death. God does not. Death is neutral in these matters.
He wanted to go to the tomb and roll the large stone covering away from the opening. I just couldn't imagine why.
Let's make one thing clear. No one rolls away the stone this soon. I mean, really? The smell and all? But we did it. Praise God, we did it.
And then Jesus called our brother's name, and Lazarus, he walked out alive.
Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Death has purpose.
Not always in the way we would like or expect.
The pain of loss may come in many forms, not just the cessation of life. Death stings us, pesters us, and we fall into the pit of despair. The loss of a job, the betrayal of a spouse, bankruptcy, backstabbing, depression, anxiety, and loneliness. I asked him, Lazarus, what was it like? He smiled and simply said, you'll see.
For whoever would save his life will lose it. There is death, there is no other choice. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. And from death comes resurrection.
Jesus changes everything.